Okay, Crafty. So I have my wine glass and I have this decal I cut out using stencil vinyl. And I'm gonna put that on here. I'm gonna have to finesse it because this is like a, I don't know, it ain't a flat surface, it's a bulb, it's circular, so it's not gonna just lay flat evenly. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna peel this off. Let's weed, not weed, I already weeded it out too. I just did this with my Cricut real fast. And to finesse this, I'm gonna cut all this excess transfer tape off for one, because that's just more work for us to put this on here. And mind you, it's not gonna probably lay super perfect, but once you glitter and stuff, you can finesse it with your glitter. So I'm just gonna cut little slits into this outer heart. Just little slits. I'm not cutting all the way through it. I'm just cutting little slits. And this makes it more malleable. I don't know if that's the right word. But it gives me some flex to position this a little better. So now I'm about to lay this on here. Find where I want it. I want to put my center heart first. And that seems right. So I'm just going to lay that down. And you will have a few little lumps, but it'll be alright. I'm just going to press that down. I'll make sure that's all down. It is going to fold a little. But you don't worry about that, Craftiana, because once we glitter it, it will be okay, honey. I'll make sure I burnish this down and rub this down really well because I don't want no liftage. So we're going to carefully remove this transfer tape now because we don't want it to peel up our stuff, and it's already cut up, so we don't want it to start moving and shifting and stuff, honey. See, I just took that piece off moving too fast. Let me lay that back down and be careful. See, what I told y'all about not moving too fast and doing too much, and what I do. See, this is why you do as I say and not what I do, because I just be on here moving. So you gotta listen, Craftiana, listen. And make sure you unseal that. Get that off that transfer tape because these pieces are now separated because we cut through them. So make sure they lay, all the edges is laying down. And we're going to go in with a light color glitter. So bam. It should look something like that, Craftiana. Ugh. Then we're going to take our glue. My glue of choice is Mod Podge. And I'll be right back because I didn't get no water in my cup for my work. So hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to be taking this glitter I got from this store called Moscatel's in downtown LA. However, they are closed down now and I don't know what to do. I'm taking my Mod Podge that I have in a squeeze bottle and we're just going to put this glitter. First, I'm going to do around this heart, then I'm going to go back in and fill the rest in. Now, this is going to be... Ooh, wait. I almost forgot, Craftiana. Slow my roll. Ooh, rewind. Critical... See, I ain't did a cup in a while. So first I'm going to put a little bitty thin tape border around this edge. Around the top of this rim. This is just some electrical tape. And I mean a real thin. Just to protect this rim for when I go to epoxy and I can have a good seal, honey. So try to keep that even and as straight as possible. I just want to wrap that around this edge, around this lip. That just so when we epoxy, we're not getting epoxy in the inside. And I repeatedly take this off every time I put a new layer of epoxy on. And I pull it right off. I'm sorry, I just woke up and my voice is not here. I almost forgot. Can you tell it's been a while since I did a cup? I'm just gonna take that off and make sure that's even. That's not even right there. Bam. Make sure that it's nice and down all around. Now we could go. Now we could glitter Craftiana. My bad. My bad, girl. I forgot that quick. I'm glad I remembered. Okay, now I'm taking my Mod Podge. And first I'm just going around this decal and the inside of this decal. Because those two parts are going to be the light blue. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to kind of like brush away from it, like on top of the decal. Just slightly so I can make sure I have a crisp edge. I want this heart to be hardened. Okay. So I'm making sure I like go on top of it and pull out. Because I want that covered. I need that heart crisp when I pull this decal off. The decal is basically a stencil. And then we need some glue inside of here because this will be the same color. This will be, and this is why it's important to make sure that decal is pressed down well. You see that? I got a little liftage. And that means that glue is probably going to be up under there. I'm going to have to clean that up. It's alright though, we can clean it up. We can clean it up, Craftiana. So I'm just spreading it around this heart, making sure that is nice and covered, all these lines, because we need crisp lines. Alright. Let's dump this glitter. We got to move fast because this will dry quick. And this first coat will not give us no coverage. Now, I could have base painted this a light blue color to help it, but I don't want to. So I'm going to just do like 3 or 4 coats of this color. Knock some of that excess off. Now we could go in and glitter the rest of this. So we're just going in with that Mod Podge and we're going to spread this all over. And don't worry, this first coat will look a little trifling, but we're going to do 3 or 4 and it's going to be nice and full, honey. And try not to rub that glitter that you just put down because it will rub off because it's not dry. So like get close as possible to it, but don't rub it off with this fresh glue. Because you will create a disaster, honey. And you got to move quick on this first coat because Mod Podge on glass, it ain't nothing to play with. It will dry. And it will dry quick. And you're going to be like, my glitter not sticking. My glitter not sticking. See, I'm just patting it near this edge. Ooh. Applying more glue as I need. Getting this stem and this base. My stems are always raggedy the first coat. No matter the color or how much coverage, my stems are always raggedy. Making sure we take that all the way to the top. Get this base good. Making sure we're not missing any spots. Tapping that right there to get that coverage. Now let me pour this glitter on. Now it's going to look real raggedy this first coat. But we just dumping that right all over. Rain down on me. Ooh. Get as much glitter as you can up on here, Craftiana. We got a scoop. We ain't got enough glitter up in my container, so I got a scoop. I got a scoop. Okay. I'm going to tap the bottom of the wine glass to get some of that excess glitter off. You see this first coat is real stingy. It looks bad. It's see-through. However, that's just the first coat. But now I'm going to pull off this tape. And you want to do all of this before it dry. Because if you do it while it's dry, you run the risk of messing up your hard work. And it lifts up all your edges and stuff. Really, I would get tape stuck to my finger. That's the first. Of course, when I want to record and do stuff, it want to act tricky. I'm going to be careful and remove these decals. First heart. You see that? You see that shape? And be careful moving this one because it's cut up. So we're removing that. We're removing this. Being careful and gentle as possible. You see I got glue under here, and I didn't want glue under there. So I'm gonna just gently got that out. And this is what it looks like, our double heart. So now I'm about to clean that up real quick. I'm going to take a little piece of a paper towel or whatever. I'm going to try to wipe some of this excess glue up, because I don't want that, because I got a glitter in there with another color. And we want it smooth as possible. It don't got to be perfect, because it's going to dry clear and you can go on top of it. However, we don't want no lumps though. We just don't want no lumps, Craftiana. So, just clean that up. And there you go. That's your first coat of glitter. So we're going to let this fully dry for about a good 20 minutes. And then we're going to recoat it. We'll be back. Back again. So we're recoating this first coat of glitter, and we're just going in with our Mod Podge again, okay? And as you can see, I'm using a smaller brush because we want to keep the details of this heart, okay? We want a nice clean, we want our lines clean, we need to see this, we want it precise. So I'm just taking my time, making sure I scrape up any glue with my nail. This is why I use Mod Podge, because I can clean it up with my finger real quick, or scratch it off, or whatever I got to do with a craft knife or something. With the epoxy method, I wouldn't have been able to do that, and I don't got time. So I'm just taking this little brush and I'm just going around this heart. And this was after the first coat of glitter dry. I let that first coat dry for a good at least 20 to 30 minutes because it was one coat. It didn't have much to clean to, so it dried pretty quickly. So I dumped that glitter on that heart. Now I'm going in on the rest of this body, honey, the rest of this body of the wine glass. And I know y'all see my face all concentrated up in here. Sometimes I need to bike up, okay? But I'm spreading this glue all over the rest of this, making sure I keep the outline of this heart, making sure I don't get it on that glass. But if I get a little on the glass, it's not that deep. I can scrape it up and clean my lines up later. But we're trying to do the best as we can, Craftiana, to not do that now, okay? Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. That was trifling. I am so sorry. Excuse me, but that's what he said. Come on out. And I was not starting this voiceover, okay? Because who got time for all of that? Okay, so I'm going in. I went in with my big brush. Now I'm going in with this little brush again, and I'm making sure I get these lines, honey. Okay, and I'm trying to get this point, honey. And I'm making sure I take my glue up to that little line at the top, close to the rim, but not all the way to the rim that we taped off, and we peeled that tape off and left that little line. And you see me, I'm going around that rim to keep that area clean because we want to retape that off later. So I'm dumping my glitter on top of that first coat, and I believe I end up doing 3 or 4 coats of this glitter. So it's just the same process over and over. You let it dry, put another coat, let it dry, put another coat. But after my final coat, I put a layer of Mod Podge on here to seal in this color because we're doing more than one color. So I gave it a good dusting, a very good dusting. And now I'm just going in right over this glitter to seal this glitter in, because when we go in with our darker color blue, we don't want that to lock into this lighter color blue. Okay, so once that glue dry on this layer, your full coat of Mod Podge, after you let that dry without putting no glitter on top of that, you just seal it in, let it dry completely. I would suggest waiting a good at least 10 hours for this, because we're going in with a darker color and we want to be able to pour that darker color on top of this blue. It's going to get on top of there, but you'll be able to dust it off completely. You would just take your makeup brush and dust it off, because that first coat is sealed in, the gaps is filled in with that extra glue, and you could just dust it off because that other color is already locked in place. So as you can see, I'm taking that glue all over and I'm just making sure it's thin. Please make sure it's a thin layer. We don't be raggedy, Craftiana. Make sure it's a thin layer and smooth. And that also helps for when you go to epoxy, it makes it easier. A lot easier, Craftiana. So after we let that dry a good at least 10 hours, we go in with our next color. So we go in with our little bitty brush and we start filling in the inside of this heart. Okay, as you can see, that first color is nice and sealed. That's about after 3 or 4 coats. Now I'm going in the inside of this heart and I'm gonna dump that darker blue right on the inside, and I'm making sure to be nice and neat, because if you get glue on like the lines of that lighter blue, the darker blue will stick there and stay. So you don't want that. So be careful to keep these lines crisp and clean, and take your time, do section by section. As you can see, I'm dumping some glitter, dusting the excess off. You don't really got to dust the excess off at the same time. I'm just extra and I like to see my shape, so I dust it off. So I'm just filling that in with the glue and dumping, backing it up like a dump truck and dusting the outer perimeter. Don't dust on top of that because the glue is not dry. You'll have glue on your duster brush and you'll spread that onto the other color, and you don't want that problem. So I'm going in with this middle heart, doing the same thing. Dump, 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 dust, 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 dust. As you can see, the shape is still there. We got glue on the outside of it, but yada. I let that dry. I did about 2 coats of that color, and I sealed that color in too. I put a layer of Mod Podge over there, let that dry, and now I popped it on my cup turner, did a couple coats of epoxy. Y'all seen this process before. You can check out my other videos on how to epoxy, but I did 3 coats of epoxy on here. I'm spreading that even, thin, smooth. Y'all done seen this 100 times, but if you need a full in-depth tutorial, check out one of the videos on my page, one of my wine glass tutorials that has a epoxy tutorial in there. So I gave it a good old torch. We're about to pop it off. Then I had my Crickiana cut out this decal. Okay, my Crickiana cut out this name Onyx. Ooh, excuse me. And I'm laying this on here. As you can see, I'm cutting my transfer tape to make this easier, because these curves will get you, gal. They will get you, gal. They will get you. So now I'm taking my decals. I'm using these. I believe these are SS6 Rhinestones, and I'm going in on the tail of this this font. I can't remember the font name. I'm so sorry, Craftiana. But I'm just filling in the rest of this dang on wine glass, and that's the rest of the process. You fill it in, and then I turned it over and I outlined the heart too. So just get into it, Craftiana. We're almost done. So we're down to our last little bit. We just filled that name in with multiple size rhinestones, and we're getting to the tail. And here's the finished product. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on all my socials. They're all Brand So Crafty: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I'm on everywhere. Okay, Craftiana. So here's the finished product. You see the heart. I outlined those with a small SS6 rhinestone, and I did the name. It came out so cute. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you want to see, Craftiana, and I'll be sure to do my best to get to that video. Thanks.